So he installed CTOs, CDOs, and they're being embraced by the new administration.
We'll see. There are some early signals, but look, this was one of the legacies of the Obama administration, bringing a bipartisan group of technologists into the government, not just originally to rescue the very troubled healthcare.gov, which they did, but bringing tech thinking into government, reforming the procurement process, doing things like creating a sole login for all citizens into all kinds of government services. Well, there was a lot of anxiety that the Trump administration might roll that back. We reported this week that some of Trump's tech deputies met with the leadership of services like the U.S. Digital Service and the 18F department in the GSA. And then Jared Kushner, the Trump son-in-law and advisor, sent a message to Todd Park, the former CTO, and basically said, we're on the same team. This is mission critical. It's a good sign.
It's a good sign, but we still don't know about the visa policies. We still don't know about net neutrality. Can there be any sort of optimism taken from these sorts of steps about policy outside of...
No, it's certainly separate from policy. I mean, on the tech surge, right, the question is who will Trump appoint to succeed Megan Smith as CTO? Can Trump draw the same kind of bipartisan group of technologists to keep the effort going? But on the policy side, you're right. There are plenty of questions. The new FTC chair seems to be very much against net neutrality. That's worrying to some in Silicon Valley. All these other issues where Silicon Valley politically differs from the administration, even at the same time as they look forward to things like tax holidays and a lower corporate tax rate.
Interesting you say Silicon Valley differs from Washington in some respects. Fascinating what's going on Twitter, which we'll dig into in a moment. But Elon Musk actually tweeting a Bloomberg reporter right here, that being Dan Ahl, and he's saying that Rex Tillerson, he seems to be backing Rex Tillerson. Here we have it saying Rex is an exceptionally competent executive, understands geopolitics and knows how to win for his team. His team is now the USA. Elon Musk really starting to get into bed with this new administration. We look at Twitter being deployed, but it's still being deployed very heavily by Donald Trump as well. Does that surprise you?
No, I mean, that has been his primary communication mechanism for so long. It was effective for him during the campaign. It's obviously sort of a mouthpiece directly to the people as he sees it. Of course, the masses aren't quite on Twitter or embracing it, but nevertheless, it allows him to get an unfiltered message out there. And with Elon's tweet, I think we're seeing him and some other business leaders take more of a role in the administration, or at least see the opportunity to come in and get their policy priorities passed in this new environment. So I think there's some cautious outreach on both sides, and Twitter, of course, is the venue of choice.
You did a brilliant podcast that I was listening to after the show the other day, and it's really talking about how social media has been adopted by Donald Trump. Will it be adopted more wide-scale, social media outlets such as Twitter, by other politicians? Are they going to take a leaf out of his book here?
I don't know. I mean, Trump is pretty singular in his ability to get attention via tweet. He's sort of, he tweets impetuously, let's say. It's not really in the character of many other politicians. So I don't know. I mean, I think he's somewhat unique. We also looked at whether this is good for Twitter. And frankly, I don't know that it is. It's like there's a reason why American citizens don't want to watch C-SPAN all day, because it's insular, right? We want things digested. We're not interested in every turn of policy and who's supporting who. And increasingly, Twitter can seem like dialogue between insiders. And I think, Trump, to some extent, has fostered that.
With Elon Musk, with Peter Thiel being so close to the administration, is this something that maybe other Silicon Valley heads are taking as a positive?
I mean, well, I think everyone is sort of following script right now. You're seeing company after company make their announcements for new manufacturing centers in the U.S. and new jobs that they're creating, and it's all illusory. We'll never know if they follow through. A lot of it is politics. But clearly, I think this is going to be a pro-business administration, and business leaders see the opportunity to use that for their advantage. They're just being pragmatic. He is the president of the United States right now, and so they are rushing, just as they did 8 years ago. It may have seemed more authentic then. They're doing the same thing now, which is trying to get into the power circle.
And tweeting our own BN reporters while doing it. Dana Hull getting a direct tweet from Elon Musk, always nice.